I just realized I don't have a light on. Hold on. Okay. Hey, it's me, Annalisa, with my spiritual friend. I am back. No one's here, so it's cool. Doing live readings. I hope everybody is doing well. What can I chat about? Hello, hello, whoever just joined. Hi, Albert. Oh, it's good to see you. Hi, Allie. Hope everybody's well. Just hanging out. Nothing exciting. My kids are finally not sick right now. Hopefully they'll stay that way for a while. Thanks to COVID, my one child gets everything now. I hope everybody else is well. How's everybody doing? I don't have any updates. Nothing else is going on right now. Same. What was I going to say? I don't know. I don't have any good stories. I don't have like anything. This week has been like, oh, I did, in case you were here last week. You know, I said I was like asking about my watch. I'm like, is it too big? It was annoying that shit out of me. And so I brought that watch back and I got the smaller one so that I don't have the sensory issues. And I'm happier now. So that's my excitement. And I dragged my daughter with me who was staying home from school. I was like, you have to come because I have to, like, they had to replace my Apple Pencil because it was not working. So, and like, it's like one of those, like, well, we've ordered it and I look, I have no eyebrows. I have this smidge of makeup on and that's about it. Anyway, random thoughts just pouring out of my brain. Yeah. So, you know, like they're like, well, I can only hold it for a week. And like, she'd been sick when it finally came in. So I was like, you have to come with me. She wasn't that sick, but she was definitely worn out from walking around, which was, I always feel terrible because who wants to go anywhere you don't feel good, right? So who's here? Who wants to go first? Allie or Devery? You guys are up. Albert, how are you doing? I had a dream a few days ago of an airplane with Asuka plainly. What? Oh, is that one of those, oh, hold on. Is that one of those, anime things? Or however you say it, anime? Oh, I'm so glad you joined, Albert. It's always nice to have more people around. That's it. I did a reading for Regine this morning. Got to see her in person for the first time. Hi, Regine, if you're here. She's lovely as can be. Okay, sorry. Let me finish reading. It was dark and light on the plane. We're like... Nicole, so my YouTube readings are paid readings and they're $12 a question and I donate 30% to the Community Food Bank of New Jersey, always, because food scarcity is real, which is so ridiculous in this country that we have a food scarcity issue. It's also ridiculous that I saw somebody standing on the corner about a week ago, like a whole bunch of people like in different groups with signs, but asking for money to help pay for their friend's cancer surgery. Like, what is wrong with our country? Why can we not have medical care? Jesus Christ. I don't know. Oh, my gray hairs are showing. I'm gonna have to dye those. Okay, so here's where you can pay if you want one. Didn't mean to do a question mark. Let me just make sure that works. That's me. It works. Okay. Well, I can see my gray hairs. But thank you. Okay. So, oh, wait. This is random. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about your dream for just a second. I'm getting distracted. But I got this. Oh, you can't even tell. Well, it leaves weird lighting. But I was all excited because it's got like the filament is butterfly shaped. Okay, that's random distraction. Okay, let's figure out your dream. What else was going on in the plane in the dream besides this? Like what led up to it and what kind of happened afterwards? You know what it is? I'm not even worried about it. I just feel like it looks dry. So I like to do it because so then it looks like not so dry looking. Hmm. You can't remember? You're just remembering the plane. I might make you ask a different question and I'll just kind of ponder that with you. Because I feel like I'm not getting a whole lot on it with just the plane. I think honestly like I know this is why I feel like this isn't really psychic and I'll totally give you this one, but like the anime stuff is it's just part of your bank. You know what I mean? Like your familiarity bank. And I'm not getting anything where it's like, it means this, because there's nothing else really around it. Like, what were you doing leading up to it? Why did you see it? Were you like in the house and then walked out and did this? You can look up in dream dictionaries, but because I'm not really getting a feel for like that kind of stuff, I'm like, there's nothing that's making me feel like this is what it would mean. Like, so when I look up at spirit animal medicine, like if I see, oh, I need to send something to Regine. Regine, are you here? She might not be here. She already spent enough time with me today. Are you still typing? Nicole, I gotcha. So ask a different question then, because so the thing is like even if you were looking up your own dreams, because this is what I do when I'm confused. I try to remember everything as much as possible. So like I just did dream meaning, spiritual meaning. Right. What was it? Sorry, dream meaning of an airplane. It's like it signifies motivation and direction. So when you have a dream, if you can, as soon as you get up, write as much detail down as you can when you have it. Because then like it's like, well, I don't know. So I had this dream once and I wasn't sure what it meant. Like I had an idea, but like now like some stuff is falling in place. I'm like, oh, it was a little bit more prophetic than I realized. But sometimes my prophetic dreams for myself are always like a little bit weird, or when they're like realistic prophetic dreams, like they're not symbolic. It's always from like a weird angle that I see stuff. Like it's always this like really weird close up. So like years ago, I had a dream that somebody, I didn't know who it was showing me around my grandmother's house that she had lived in when she passed. And like some of her furniture was there. My grandmother had like all antique stuff from my grandfather's family up here. And they had like, so it was really nice. And she had reupholstered some of it through the years and stuff. But so she had all this antique furniture. But then there was like a camping chair like in the middle of the living room and like a weird leather couch I'd never seen before. And the tile was totally wrong and different. And like there was a huge TV in her kitchen, which she had only ever had like a 13-inch TV. She went from like when I was really little from a 13-inch black and white to a color 13-inch. So I watched the Golden Girls on a 13-inch color TV in her kitchen. And then maybe she moved that into the extra room. I don't know. But there was like all this weird stuff. And I remember like looking through her closets and like but it was like I couldn't really see in the closet. And I'm like, why can I not really see in the closet? And then what happened was when my uncle passed, who lived in her house and bought her house after she passed, his daughter, and I hadn't spoken to her in years. That's why I was like, I don't know what's going on. Like she was doing and when I had this dream, I don't think this was possible to do like video chats. She was like videoing, like I think we were on Snapchat, and she was doing like a video through the house and showing me stuff in the closet. But I was like, why can't I like see the stuff I want to see? Why can I only see like, because I would have been like really going in there anyway. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know why I'm rambling and telling you this. The character had a sad background in the story. I'm not sure how that connects to the airplane. So where you talk about like the high school dream, immediately I'm reminded of like when I have had dreams where I was like back at my college and I was in the main campus and in like the main, like, I don't know what they call it. It was called Davies. I don't know what it is, whatever. And I was like, it was Davies, but it wasn't Davies. And it was like way different and totally like there was like another building, all this stuff. Well, it turns out like they completely renovated the campus. I remember also being in the dorms and I was like, this is like way nicer than I was here. And it turns out they renovated everything. So it might actually be a prophetic dream you're having or like connecting to the energy. So it might not be changed yet, but they might be in the plans of changing it when you talk about that. So I would actually look up your high school and see if they've done any renovations, because that's always kind of cool. And like other prophetic dreams I've had where it's very literal, again, it's from a weird angle. So I had a dream about my favorite bar burning down in college, but I didn't know it was my favorite bar. And I didn't even know it was a fire I was seeing. I was just looking at the street and there was like all these black lines in the street, but I couldn't tell that they were fire hoses. And so then when it was happening, I was like, oh my God, that's what I dreamt about. What can you tell me about Sam? Is there more than friendship feelings there? And how does he feel about me? Nicole, do you have, are you like a little bit nauseated right now or not quite feeling right? Because I just felt like, not that I'm throwing up at your dream, it was just a feeling of feeling a little bit nauseated. Okay. Do you have, I'm going to this because it's like things I'm aware of, like, and there's a reason they're having me bring that up because I didn't feel nauseous before I read that. Do you have headaches? Do you get headaches and migraines? Because I'm feeling a little bit of a headachy. Okay. When you get your headaches, do you get nausea with them? And I'm asking that because it just lets me know I'm connecting with your energy. That's all. Okay. A huge trigger, I feel like, for your headaches and migraine is actually low blood sugar. I know it's like lame and like, of course I got that, whatever. And I think just because of the way I'm feeling, maybe it will help you, is just always kind of like have snacks around. I'm not saying like to gorge yourself all the time, but it feels like you forget to eat and then it triggers stuff. So like have a snack around and like set a little timer to remind you to eat like every couple of hours, just to eat a little something. Because I feel like you'll hyper focus and then forget to eat. And you can tell me that's right. And that's not about your reading. I'm still going to focus on Sam. Don't worry. So just telling you that they're wanting to talk to you about that. So maybe it's something that you might be able to circumvent tomorrow. Maybe that's why they're talking about it. I don't know. Okay. I definitely feel like there's more than friends feelings. I feel like he is interested in flirty with you. But I also feel like there's a, do we cross the friends boundary? Like he's not sure if he's in the friend zone or not. So it's that hesitation. Still got to get some stuff on my walls. I'm such a thinker. Okay, Allie, what are we going to do about you? Because that's not, I don't want you to pay for that. I feel like that was just a nice little conversation about dreams. Hi, Regine. What did I tell you that I saw when I first, what are you doing paying for another? Hi, Devery. Okay, so wait, I want to look up because I remembered what it was. Cherry blossoms. Okay, so Regine, you remember this morning? You're very welcome, Nicole. Regine, do you remember this morning? And I said cherry blossoms, and then I never looked it up. And I did send you your recording, so I hope you got it. Cherry blossoms mean good fortune, new beginnings, and revival. So we'll leave that where it is. Okay. Why are you scared to ask? It's what you want to know. Maybe that's why you didn't remember your dream, because that's not really the question you want to ask. I mean, come on, be bold, be brave. The worst you're going to get is no, right? And you're still amazing and awesome if he doesn't like you. Okay. And I'm not saying you're going to get a no. Okay. It does sound good. Okay, so Devery is, Brendan was want a relationship with me, or is he playing games? I don't know what to do with him. All right. So this is what I heard, but I think it's important for whatever reason. So I heard playing games, but I also heard that this is a really good chance for you to learn to set boundaries and sort of start to see who people are on your own and have more confidence in that. So it's like, it's not about necessarily cutting him out, but it's setting boundaries and seeing, does he respect those boundaries or does he keep playing that game? And it's more about you learning from it than it is about, because people who are emotionally unavailable or emotionally immature or stunted follow patterns. So it's like, I don't want to say he's a guinea pig, but hi, Awaken Light Worker, how are you? That's the feeling I get. It's like, this is a really good learning opportunity for you. No, they're not saying cut him off. It's sort of like, take it as a learning lesson, like see what his behavior is, learn what it is to set boundaries with someone, and then see like, oh, are they emotionally available? Are they like, if you're like, if you want to have a date with me, then you need to like plan it ahead of time and be on time. And like, this is what I expect. Not like he calls you last minute and you're like, oh my God, I'm totally ready. It's like, oh no, you know what? I'm not available or not responding until the next day or something. Like when it's like, it's sort of for you to learn how to set boundaries and how to also read the energy and be more comfortable about it and be more secure in the decisions that you make. And if you don't want to do it, cut them off. Oh, that's lovely. So these are paid readings here. I do free readings occasionally over on TikTok. I haven't done it in a little bit because my kids have all been sick and it's hard to sit down here and do readings and they're running in and needing stuff and all that. So, but I do free ones over there. These ones are paid. They're $12 a reading here. And there 30% of it goes to the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. Because every dollar provides 3 meals and food scarcity is a real problem. But isn't that really cool how you ask and like, seriously, it's like ask and you shall receive. Like there's so many coincidences and connections and interactions. So that's what I got, Devry. And I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. I think when I was dating, I wish I would have had more. I wish I would have been a little bit further along to be a little bit more confident and insightful and like to see behavioral stuff. I think I would have saved myself a lot of tears. At the top, I pinned the link for my PayPal. I don't know if you have the chat on. Wait, you should have the chat on because you're chatting, right? Hello. Okay. Oh, thank you. Regine, you're so wonderful. I really enjoyed doing your reading for you this morning too. So that is very nice. Anybody has had a reading from me, or if you've even just had stuff and I've been right about it here, if you want to send me, you can text it or email it, whatever, a testimonial or a little review. I would really appreciate it. All right, let's see. So if somebody else, Nicole, did you pay? Who else is here? There's not a lot of people here. I might just be done early for the day, and that's okay too. It's a quiet day. I think I still have my phone on. Oh, what's your question, Allie? Oh, your question about your man. Sorry. You're so sweet for not wanting to stab me with daggers coming out of your eyes. Stephen. Do you know who, whenever I hear that name, Stephen, I always think of that Stephen Coletti kid from The Hills. I don't know why. Not Stephen Colbert. Go figure. I'm just looking at my PayPal if you're wondering. That's it. Just make sure I don't miss anybody. Okay. Hi, Joelle. Why do we feel like his energy is really like so it's like I just feel like he's standing there like a lump on a log. Like there's not, I don't feel like an energetic connection to him. I feel like he's kind of low energy. Like, he's not excited about life. He feels resigned to life. Do you know what I'm saying when I say that, Allie? No. I just don't feel like he's the way they're showing me is like if I'm just standing there looking at him, he's like just like walks by me. Like there's no, but I also don't feel like I'm walking anywhere for excitement. He's pretty quiet. Okay. That doesn't talk. um I actually wouldn't be surprised if he's not a little bit depressed, to be honest with you, the way it feels. I don't feel anxiety. I feel a little bit of depression. Like it just feels like meh. So I think that might be the confusing part. Okay, awaken light worker. Thank you. I think that might be the confusing part. Look, not everybody is quiet all the time. I just think he may have some depression. I don't feel like I don't feel like a huge interest. That's not what I'm feeling. And I also just feel like it it wouldn't be a good match for your energy because I feel like you have an interest in the possibility and the excitement about life, and I don't feel like he has that. I just feel like he feels like Groundhog Day. And it is not this is not like oh, he doesn't like me. When am I going to meet? It's like he's just not the right energy for you. It's not a good vibrational match. And I feel like if you were to get in a relationship with him, it just feels like it would be um it would drag your energy down. It would be a disappointment to you. I don't know. That's not my feeling. And I can be wrong. I just feel like here's the thing. Even if someone's really quiet, if they're into you, you know they're into you. Um, I just feel like it feels, I don't know. He just feels really in his head and not, um, I don't know. It just doesn't feel like a good match for you energetically. I mean, if you want that, go for it. But I don't see it as being something that would benefit you. I don't know. I don't know why I get the stuff that I get. I could be totally wrong, and I'm happy to say I'm totally wrong. I can only just tell you that's how I feel right now. When I say I believe manifesting is real, like I believe manifesting is real, I have seen things happen so quickly lately where I'm like, that's crazy. Um, Imagine somebody saying something to me, and then within a couple days, it happens. Imagine somebody responding to something, and it happens. This is just like businessy, whatever. It's like obviously not romantic, but my daughter, this was crazy. She goes, Mom, just yesterday, I was thinking that I wish this tooth would fall out. She goes, it wasn't even really loose. It was just a little bit, but she was just, I don't know if she wanted something. And like the next day she bit into something and it's not even like hard or anything. And she's like, all of a sudden it popped out. I don't know. I don't feel like it is. I'm happy to be wrong, but I don't feel it. And also, what if it wasn't last October? What if it was like this one? I don't know. Timing is weird. Timing is so weird. And I'm sometimes really great with it. And there's other times where I'm like, I don't know. I just don't feel it. I don't feel it with him. But I also feel like there's such a want to be in a relationship that it becomes this really different kind of energy. And I'm not judging it because I've been there. So, and I think a lot of people have been there, right? So I'm not judging it by any means or being like, it's desperate, you're so desperate. But it's like an energy that gets put out there that's like unspoken where it keeps everything away. I don't know any other way to explain it. I just don't feel like maybe it's somebody else that's like not even on your radar because you're like, oh, whatever. And it's something that happens where like they come in at a different point. Because the question is, when am I going to meet him? You could have met him, but it doesn't mean you're going to start dating him right away, right? My chiropractor, I met him when he was just before he was turning 30. And I don't know how old he is now. This is, oh gosh, this is probably almost 10 years ago now. And because Daisy was like almost, well, 8 years ago, 8.5. He he was single, and of course he was like, well, when am I going to get married? And I mean, I didn't care. I did readings for him while he was working on me. Or he would send me when he was dating, he'd send me pictures of girls, and I was like, no, oh no. But he kept asking. I was like, I don't know. And his mom's had readings from me. She's like, when's my son getting married? I never shared any of that with him. He never knew when she had readings. It was all very, very private. But she was in his energy. I'm like, I can feel her around you, but I don't know why it's not connecting. And I forgot to ask him, but I'm pretty sure she was like somehow connected. Like I don't know, but she was near him. So I don't know why I feel it the way I do and why I can't always explain it or describe it or say this is it and this is when it's going to happen. And some of it is, especially for people who are like really, really, really wanting it. It's this kind of more vague thing. So maybe it's not him. Maybe it's somebody else you met and didn't realize it because it's just not on your radar. Maybe they weren't like this, oh my God, instant connection. I don't understand it. I don't know why it happens that way. Okay. Awaken light worker, what's your question? I also did a reading for my chiropractor's wife recently because he met her finally and got married. They have a baby now. And he totally surprised her. So like literally I was just on the screen and I was like, oh, hi. And he's like, she's like sitting there. I was like, you have no clue who I am or what I do. Like I was like, oh, I'm Annalisa. And she's like, I said something. She's like, oh, you must be one of Mike's patients. And I was like, you have no clue who I am. Like he literally was like, I'm surprising her. And I was like, okay, sure, no problem. And he's the only person not only person, but I just wouldn't do that for a lot of people because I was like, when he was messaging me, I was like, are you sure does she interested in this? Like, is this something she'd want? He's like, he told me he asked her mom and her mom was like, yes, she totally want it. So, that was interesting. It was a good reading. It was amazing. I'm sorry, Allie. I wish I had like a better, I just don't feel like it's him. And I honestly, I have to tell you, just from the outsider's perspective, like feeling his energy and knowing your energy, I'm like, why would you want that? Not, I just don't see the attraction other than it's a body. Because I don't feel like he's excited about life. I know. And listen to me. I can be wrong. But my feeling is it's not like he's not up to snuff. You know what I mean? He's not up to par for you. And I can be wrong. So you can always be like, Anna, pound sand. You suck. I don't agree. F off. It's okay. It's just the feeling I get. And I have been wrong. I told some woman, she lets me know this every time I've seen her, which I haven't seen her in a long time. She's like, first time you saw me, you said I was going to be pregnant, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh my God. And I never got pregnant. Ha 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 ha. And I was like, good for you. This is like a friend of a friend and a thing, whatever. I was like, okay, I can be wrong. It doesn't mean she didn't have a miscarriage. It doesn't mean but a lot of people like to go, pregnancy doesn't mean baby at the end. Pregnancy just means pregnancy. Okay. So Awaken Light Worker, what's your question? And Joelle, you have a question too. And then Regine, if you don't have a question, if anybody wants to ask one, or if you want to just do like a general what's going on in the world, like if you have one about that kind of stuff instead of personal stuff, I'll see. I'm going to say this to you, Awaken Lightworker. What do you specifically want to know about? Like what topic? Because when you came on here, you said I was asking spirit, like whatever for direction and I'm saying this because I've done readings personally where I've asked like, oh, just give me anything. But really I wanted to know about something specific, but I was like, hoping the universe would tell me about that and then, or my guides or whatever. And then they did, and they told me about something else, which was relevant and very important at the same time, but not really what I was looking to hear about. So I'm poking and prodding. Because so if you just literally just want general, then that's fine. But I'm being a bit of a turd here. I just think that sometimes people, when they go into these, they're like too afraid to ask and then get something that either because they're afraid of what's this person reading judging me about. Like, listen, I have been vulnerable and asked all kinds of questions. I had some lady tell me how many curses I had on me and tried to like swindle me for money. This was before I knew I could do readings or anything about how to find a good reader, all of that stuff. So, and I had like an amazing reading actually for $20 on the pier in San Francisco once. This woman and then weirdly looked in my eyes and looked weird and made a weird look and ran away. So God only knows what she saw, but she was 100% right. It was crazy how 100% right she was. Because I was there with a guy I was dating at the time. And he was such a the kind of personality of oh, what they're eating looks so much better than what I ordered. His whole personality. So, enjoy what you have. Okay, Okay, Emily. I got it. All right, Awaken Light Worker, let me just see what you need. Since you're like, no, this is what I want. I'm like, okay, I'll honor that. Right. I think I'm connecting with your energy right now, and I just want you to kind of validate what I'm feeling. I do feel a lot of anxiety, and I feel like you carry your anxiety up here in your chest. And immediately, like, I felt very disconnected from the grounded part of me. Do you get panic attacks to where you almost feel like you're having a heart attack? I could absolutely be wrong. Awaken Light Worker, are you here? Hello. Please like. I don't get very many viewers lately. Probably should put some better content out here than just doing live readings, but it is what it is. Are you here, Awaken Light Worker? Did you post and run? I need you to be here for the reading because I want to make sure I'm connecting with your energy. Okay, I'm going to move on because I just need to know, like, does that resonate? I want to make sure I'm connecting with your energy or what that is, because then usually more stuff comes. It's just the way the process works. I've watched people go, that's a cold reading, whatever. It's not. It's what I'm feeling, and I want to know why I'm feeling it. If I'm feeling your energy or if I'm feeling spirit's energy. So that's how I work. Emily and Joelle, if you have any questions, you want to ask your questions. Did you run away, Awaken Light Worker? Okay, Joelle, I don't know where he went, or I would like to know more about my going to develop our current business here if we move somewhere else. I do feel like moving somewhere else, but I don't feel like it's far from where you're at. it feels like maybe just a few blocks over is the sense that I get. And it just feels like a better deal for rent or a better like lease. You feel a heaviness. Yes. Okay. I wonder if you're delayed a little bit. So Joelle, it just feels like a heaviness. I mean, it feels like a little bit of a, like just a couple block move. Like it doesn't feel far. And it feels like, again, a better leasing option. Okay. Okay, let me connect back in with Awaken Light Worker. So there's several things, Awaken Light Worker, that I'm feeling it's connecting this. And a lot of people are going to go, I'm not of the wave to be like, you're opening psychically and that's what's going on. Like that can be part of it. But generally what I'm getting for you is there is part of it is an imbalance in some of your vitamins and minerals. So things that you can do that should not hurt you, they should not cause any harm. So it's something to look into, is making sure your B vitamins are all methylated that need to be methylated. So L-methylfolate instead of it being folic acid. So for folate, have it be L-methylfolate. Take methylated B vitamins. You might need a little bit more folate. You might be folate deficient. Also including fiber in your diet, including making sure you're getting vitamin D in the morning and that you take it with something fatty. So like even just a scoop of peanut butter or almond butter or something, because it's a fat soluble vitamin. So it absorbs better with fat. Making sure you're getting all of your, vitamins, your minerals, making sure that you have iodine in your diet, if not through your food, through your supplements. And that's in, fish, seaweed, are high in iodine. Drinking water over coffee, things like that. Like I feel like removing any kind of stimulants that you can. Maybe ADHD, that's part of it. And then, getting enough sleep, getting enough water. So there's that part of it. But I also really do feel like there's a lot of trauma that's unresolved stuff that you haven't really dealt with. And it feels like it's coming up now. So for me, when one of my daughters was the age I was when some stuff started happening, I didn't understand it. I just started, it took some memories finally started coming up as a way to protect her. So it feels like something's coming up that's triggering this physical response. We store trauma in our body. And that's really what I keep feeling is like there's this component of this imbalance. So, and I will tell you that if your vitamins and minerals are off, it can cause all kinds of things like brain fog, anxiety attacks, forgetfulness. I'm saying it because I went through and like I did it systematically. I didn't do everything at once, so I could kind of figure out where I was at. I mean, I had hair fall out, everything. Everything is like I feel a million times better. I'm not tired during the day anymore. I sleep a lot better. And not that this would happen to you, but I don't have PMS the way I did before. Like I don't get like the big anxiety before my period the way I would. So it's really incredible how much that can change for you. Even my one daughter's, or actually the one that is more vocal and articulates it better. I started them all on iodine and changed their vitamins out. And she's not as nervous and anxious about stuff ahead of time. So it's something to look into, but I also feel like there's like some trauma stuff that might be time to dig into. This might be your way of, doing that, as they call it, the shadow work, and looking at that stuff, because it will, in the long run, help you be in a better space. I would love to be like, oh, this is all like, there's a lot of people in this spiritual space who will talk about you're having an awakening or whatever. And that's why it feels so often so terrible. And there is that component of it, but I actually feel like it's this other stuff for you, that it's not. And I know that's not like really sexy answer. Like, everybody wants like this, like, you're going to be a chosen one kind of thing. But it feels like there's this component of needing to, fix your diet, clear up your gut, that kind of stuff. And then the component of like needing to like kind of focus on dealing with the hard stuff that you survived. And I feel like if you don't have a therapist, when you're looking for one, it's important to look for one that's sort of more holistic. And I say that because, so like when I went to therapy, I went for 4 years, and, I think therapy is amazing. And I think it's good to have somebody who just can listen or can just, be there. That's not this emotional, that can give you a good perspective if you're looking for insight. But when I looked, I worried about being called crazy and stuff, because I didn't want to be like automatically labeled as, because I saw somebody on TikTok say this, and I was so like, it was like, if somebody says that they're a psychic, then automatically they need to be evaluated for schizophrenia. And I'm like, bitch, no. Anyway, find someone who is more holistic, or more of a spiritual practitioner. They'll be able to know the difference. Does this all resonate for you? And I know that you're behind. You probably need to drag the little bar. You might need to catch up. That happens sometimes when you start the lives. Like, you don't really catch me at the live point. You catch like a little bit behind. Crazy little hairs. Emily, do you want to ask your question? Lightworker, Awaken Lightworker, can you validate any of that? Should I go to college this fall or should I wait? I don't know. Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. I want you to know that when you come into this space and you are a part of this community, you may have doubts and you may have insecurities, but you are not allowed to question your intelligence, because you're smart. And what we say, what follows I am, is incredibly important. And so I also don't say, should I? I'll ask if it would benefit you. Would it be for your highest good to go this fall or to wait a little bit? Okay, so Awaken Lightworker. Go back and quick watch it. Like, go back and watch it, not in the live. Just go back and see what I said, and then see if you can validate it. You can always message me through Instagram. I'm on Instagram under My Spiritual Friend as well. Okay, Emily. So the feeling I get is, I do feel like you'll be in school in the fall, but I feel like you'll be in community college first. And there's nothing wrong with community college. I got my nursing degree through community college. I have an associate's degree. I do not have a bachelor's. I was still a registered nurse. I passed my boards the first time in 75 questions. If you know anything about the NCLEX, it, like, you either get 75 to like 200 and something questions, and it literally just shuts off when either you've passed or totally failed. So I was like, I'm either dumb as all get out or I passed. I'm not sure where I'm at, but I hope I passed. That said, I feel like are you looking at doing, I heard CAD, and I don't know if they do any kind of that kind of design anymore, but are you looking at doing some kind of, what is CAD? I know it through conversation, but I don't know what it's used for. Are you looking at computer programming or something? You're looking into accounting. What is CAD? I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's like engineering and stuff. You're looking at accounting. Maybe when you get there, you end up switching and taking a CAD class or something as a, I don't know, like an extracurricular. I don't know, whatever they call them. And I don't know. I don't know what you call them in college. I can't remember. It just feels like, I don't know. I heard CAD, so I'm going with that. I'm holding that there. But I do feel like doing community college first. And you are smart enough. So self-doubt will defeat you in so many ways. It's crazy how powerful your mind is. Do you know, I heard this saying that like most people don't know what they're doing. They just pretend, like, and like, especially in corporate worlds, like nobody knows what they're doing. And accounting is a lot of like, it's math and memorization, right? Memorizing, different laws and stuff like that. If you go into like being a CPA or something like that. But you definitely are. I see community college, and I do see that in the fall. So you're smart enough, you're good enough, and gosh darn it, people like you. Make sure that you speak kindly to yourself. Also hear a little bit of the eating better to ground and work on shadow, and yes, the journey and evolving my gifts. Perfect. So I feel like Awaken Light Worker, I feel like doing the healing work and stuff will make the connection with spirit more grounded, and you'll have more confidence in it, and you'll feel safer doing it. When you have your energy kind of grounded and healed, you attract different energy. And when you have more grounded and healed energy, when you attract that, like a higher vibrational energy, I don't know how to explain it. You have a clearer vision of it. Like your BS indicator gets better. I'm kind of going in between the two of you and Emily, so I'm sorry if I caused any confusion. So Emily, do some affirmations. I am smart. My opinions matter. My feelings matter. I'm valuable. I'm worthy. I bring a lot to the table. I'm confident. I like myself. I love myself. I'm likable and lovable. I am loved. Say all those things. It may feel stupid and you're like, oh, whatever. But over time, it creates a new pathway in your brain and you start to believe it and you know that it is true. We believe the negative stuff because we've heard some form of the negative stuff for a very long time. It's easier. It's an old pathway. Create a new pathway because you deserve it. That's your assignment. Because you deserve it. Because nobody deserves to feel like they're not valuable or worthy. Nobody deserves to feel like they don't matter or they're not smart enough or capable. That's not the truth. The truth is everybody is valuable. Everybody is. Everybody's important, and everybody's work matters, and everybody has to contribute matters. If you work in a hospital, the janitors are insanely important. The people who do the laundry are incredibly important. The people who clean the rooms are important. The people who do transport, so you transport patients back and forth, but you also transport bodies. Uh, they're important. Everybody is important. The people who do dietary are important. Like the people who aren't really seen and thanked and recognized are insanely important to the running of a hospital. So everybody matters. Everybody matters. That's it. Everybody matters. Everybody deserves to be taken care of. And this is like not a all lives matter thing. This is like just it's okay for you to feel good about yourself and confident in who you are. And sometimes things are a little bit harder, but also like maybe you're struggling with certain things like math or whatever you're struggling with. It's like you might have a crappy teacher that just hasn't learned how to connect with you yet. And that's the truth. Deborah, you put in for another question? Emily, another Emily here. I see you. Okay, so why is my pen not working? Hello. Okay, so Deborah, your second question, and then Emily Martins, if you want to type your question. I don't know what your name is on here. You're very welcome. What? Allie, you pay for another one? Okay. Okay, sounds good. Emily Martins, are you here? Deborah, if you want to ask your question. Oh, there, and intent on this last leg of pregnancy. Any hints as to when this baby will come, February or March? You know that you could have just texted me, lady. And I would just done this for you. But I appreciate you valuing my services. Thank you for being a good friend. Okay. Surround yourself with friends who will support you and love you. That's all I'm going to say. Emily is one of those friends. Surround yourself with friends who support you and love you and value you. Okay. I really feel like it might be the very last day of February, Emily. Did you have Olivia early? Will you be 38 weeks on the last day, like in the last week of February? You did have her early. Okay. Because I feel early, but I still feel term. And so term technically could be 37 weeks on. You can have a baby and be term from 37 weeks to 42 weeks. So there's a kind of a window. And did you know that typically Black women will deliver sooner than white women? Like, it's very interesting that, they've done averages of races and stuff. I thought that was interesting. But Will you be 38 weeks? You'll be 28 weeks the last. Wait, why would you say February? I don't think. Oh, maybe that's why I got. No, I don't think you're going to go that early because I feel term, but just early. How early did you have Olivia? Wait, what are you right now? I'm counting now because that makes me nervous. Oh, you'll be 38 weeks. Oh, Jesus Christ, don't do that to me. So rude. I was like, that doesn't make sense because I thought you just told me you were 30 weeks. Scaring me is not nice, Emily. It's rude. Okay. I do not like jump scares. I do not like my youngest loves to do jump scares. She thinks it's hilarious. Like one time she actually scared me. I was like, don't do that. I hate that. I don't like to be scared. There's enough scary things in this world. Okay. I think it'll be done. So I don't think it'll be like crazy early, but not quite your due date. Are you excited? You're ready. I know you're ready. I don't feel anything. I think it's just more the same, like fatigue. I do feel like you're starting to feel that heaviness in your belly. And just, you've said the hip stuff before. So, but I don't feel anything. I do feel like maybe some swelling in your feet because I feel my feet are achy and nervous. You'll be okay. I feel like it's going to be like a really textbook, great, no issue birth, easy recovery. And I get the nervous feeling because the more you add, the more chaos, right? The more mix you add to the bunch, it feels a little more chaotic. But you'll be okay because Olivia's not little, so she'll be able to, it's not like you're changing 2 sets of diapers or anything like that. And she'll be really helpful, and she's gonna be really protective. Textbook is good. Textbook's real good. And I feel like this baby's gonna be really happy. Just a really happy baby. So don't you worry. And you could have texted me. Okay, Jeffrey and Allie. Who has a question? Oh, Allie will be back in like 10 minutes. Jeffrey, are you here, dear? Do you have a question? Oh, you feel like she's happy-go-lucky in a kind of way. I do. I really feel like she's really happy. And I think you should trust that because even with my girls, what's really funny is their personalities showed up. Like when my oldest, Jillian, like just when I laughed, it felt so amazing. And her energy is really like, I don't know. She just has something. And then I was more nervous with Daisy. But like, it's funny, she let me know her name way early on, and I was like, oh, I don't know. Like, if you want that name, you got to make sure it's on daddy's list. Because my husband had already said, like, he didn't like flower names, but she has a flower name, which is what she wanted. Just a general reading. Okay. And then April, we picked her name. I picked her name. Like, I knew I wanted to be an A name after his grandfather and cousin who passed away. And I was like, what's your name? I kept looking like, what's your name? And nothing ever felt right. And she was really like, took her time, really quiet. And that's like so her personality. And then the week before I delivered her, I watched a movie and the name April was in the movie. I was like, oh my God, that's it. And what's weird is it wasn't in baby name books. Like I didn't see that. So, and that's very much her personality, to like take her time and then like last minute be like, so by the way, okay. General Debris. You're very welcome. Does your throat hurt right now, Devery? So what's interesting is I heard that like this kind of goes along with your other stuff of like you are healing and you are doing the work, but I almost felt like what they showed me was like almost like, I'm not saying you're like Godzilla, but it's just that feeling of like something big going through, like having that feeling of being something really big and like just crushing cars and like not being able to like destroying things, right? Or like a bull in a china shop, like not like shouldn't it be easier and more delicate to get through life? And I'm like, okay, so what do I tell her now? And it's that feeling of like, not that you're supposed to move. So I want to say that like really right up front. If like if you just go to like a different, you'll find you're not feeling like you have to traipse around or bounce around. So it feels like, especially when you look at dating or whenever you're doing stuff, it's like you haven't quite found your world yet. Um, and the feeling is like, if you're on dating apps, it's like your profile is written in a way that would attract someone that you think that you want to be with rather than just really authentically like this is who I am. Like, and so it's attracting like people that you think you want, but it's not really who you want to be with, right? It's imagined idea of like I think that this is what I would like. And the feeling I get is like not to be afraid that you like say, and this is not who you really are, this is just an example, like say you were like I freaking love solving Rubik's cubes, I think that's so fascinating, and I really love playing with clay and building like with Play-Doh, like whatever silly stuff it is. And it's like just put that out there, like don't worry about being judged for it, because the people that are going to judge you for that, you don't want to be with them anyway. So it feels like be really authentic. And the people that are going to judge you for it, you don't want to be with them anyway. And then sort of, because I see like I'm having trouble with that. Okay. But just put out there knowing, okay, universe, like, so when I met my husband, I made a list like 6 months before I met him, like this or better. And um, right before I met him, I had a dream that a doctor introduced me to two Jewish men. My husband is Jewish. And I had gone on another, like, and like it was like either one of them was really weird. I was like, okay. But I had gone on a couple of dates with a guy before my husband who was also Jewish. And I thought that was very interesting. But what was interesting is I sort of like, when I went online, I was like, all right, I had quit dating online for a while and I went back online. I met him through Match. And I was like, well, all right, if this is how I'm supposed to meet this or better, like whatever, make it work. Like I just kind of like was like not stressing about it. I went on some really terrible dates. Um, a lot of first dates. And I was, it's like it's a lot of that stuff. So it just feels like if you kind of just like let it go instead of like trying to control the energy of it and just being like, I trust the universe is going to bring me what I need, which is really hard when you're not used to doing that. But so like even with, there are things that I know are coming into my life and people that I know are coming into my life, like as far as connections for friends and whatever. But I'm just like, however it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And I can't explain it and I don't understand it. And I definitely cannot try to control it. So when you don't have to say everything about you, but say enough to give it enough of your personality, because when you have that energy of like, I need to hold back, whether you realize this or not, I'm telling you that energy imprints there, whether you say it or not. Like, I'm really private. Like, you don't have to say that. The energy will hit there. And people don't always know that they're reading that, but it will be like, I don't know what it is. Like, she looks fine, it's fine on paper, but there's just something. And it's like, they're feeling that energy and they don't understand it. I mean, I don't know that this is so psychic, but yeah, it is possible that you could, but I feel like you have to let your guard down a little bit. Because everything I keep feeling is like the energy needs to, like the guard needs to be let down a little bit. Allie, you can write your question. I'm not rushing you off, Deborah. I'm just so she can write it, because then I can move right into it. Because I also have to go to the bathroom. I drink. I brought too many drinks to the game, so. So I feel like for Deborah, I feel like it's just about like letting your guard down a little bit more energetically. It's not like you have to dump it all out there, but it's like, okay, even just being like, what feels safe to share right now? Or, you know, I do this too, especially when I write things for, like when I would have, I haven't done one in forever, but when I would write my inspirational talk for church, I would think about it and I'd have ideas. I'm like, oh, this is what I want to talk about. Like a month out, I'd have ideas. And then I'd sit down to write it and it would be like, all right, what do you want to, what do the people that are going to be there need to hear? What's going to benefit them the most? And like this whole other thing would come out. So it just feels like if you sat and wrote it with that idea of like, what should I write that would connect me with the person that I would be most compatible with. Yeah. It's really scary and hard to put yourself out there. It's funny because when I do this stuff, I feel so much more comfortable when it's live and I can just talk and be like, whatever, blah, blah. But when I have to record stuff, I feel like, how do I get my personality, which is way more, chitty chat type personality out there? I don't know. It's hard. And I've been on those dating sites and then they're hard and they're not fun. But you'll get better quality when you are fully yourself, and I didn't understand this at the time, but energetically, and I say this because I get text messages. I get text messages from people. I remember one woman that I knew, she sent an email and it was about something totally random and not about this. And I was like, she's pregnant. Like energy just goes with you. And I think people don't really realize it. I keep hearing that TikTok little clip of a song in my head. Do you get deja vu? And that is your performance for the day. Allie, when will you meet your future partner, or some clue about them? I don't know. I'm not doing a timing one because I feel like you can get mad at me and I'm feeling self-doubt right now. So I'm going to go with what can we tell you about your future partner? Does that work? I do feel like he will be very intelligent, but I don't feel like he feels more, whatever he does is more laid back. So, meaning I don't see him in a traditional, like being an attorney and having to wear suits and stuff to work, because I see him wearing like, his energy reminds me of, so this isn't maybe who he is now, but it might have been who he was growing up, wearing those, what do they call them? Jenga jeans. No. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like skaters wore them. And like having a chain. Like not like that energy. It reminds me of I'm not saying he'll dress that way now. So don't worry. I don't think he's rocking out in the extra super wide pants with the chain from his wallet. But that was a thing in the 90s. I think they're called Django jeans. I don't remember. They weren't pants. They sold them at Hot Topic. I'm fairly certain. But they were not pants. I didn't shop at Hot Topic except for like gag gifts in the back. But the energy reminds me of like a friend of mine, John, who I grew up with in high school. I knew him in high school. And he's just like, he's really smart. Also very skeptical and has a very interesting view of the world. Not weird or creepy or anything, but just really smart and sees things very clearly. Not quite emo. No, feels more skater. But like maybe a little bit cynical, right? But very smart. And John is very anti-religion, and he's atheist, but he is respectful enough not to give me shit about what I do. But very anti-Christian, but that's probably because he grew up going to school, like Catholic schools. And I think that shit fucks you up, to be honest with you. So that's what I feel like is like, he's not a skater now, but that like was probably who he was growing up. And so his energy is kind of like that. So it's kind of like our, like Rage Against the Machine, the like lead singer is like crazy smart, and all of their stuff is really politically motivated and kind of like, left-leaning liberal. When all of you meet your person, let us know. I can't wait for you. You'll probably stop coming on here and be like, Anna, peace out. We got what we needed. Which is good. All right. This has been lovely. I hope everybody has a wonderful week. I am going to go because I really have to go to the bathroom because I drank too many drinks. Have you met him? I heard in passing, so I don't know what that means. Okie dokie artichokes. I will see you next week. If you're on TikTok, I think I'm going to try to do lives this week because thankfully none of my kids are sick. Let's hope it stays that way for at least 5 days. And I will talk to y'all later. Okay? Have a good one.